Sunshine, over to you, mate. Sorry.
No, that's all good. Don't apologize. Some interesting points, man. I think I said last time on the terrace. I think been a build up of Ten Hag out, and I think not a lot. I'd easily say a good 40-50% of situations that have happened at United have not been on the manager, including games this year. But again, if you are someone that wanted him out last season and this season, sadly your go-to is every decision is Ten Hag out, and you build up this idea that that's an issue. To the point where when you don't get a result, everything's Ten Hag out, Ten Hag out. I listened to KJ at the end. He said people taking pop shots and hitting balls outside, but then said, "I don't want to hear anything about individual players." Well, those two sentences can't make sense when you drop your emotions, because again, if individuals are taking pop shots out of the box, that is on the individual. So you've answered your own question.
KJ Stinker there.
No, it's not a stinker because there's a logical reason why.
What I will say. Okay. What I will say.
Week's wages fine for that, KJ. Done.
No, it's not. Listen, it's not. And I'll tell you why it's not. It's because, like I said, KJ, respectfully, as much as I agree and disagree with some of his opinions, he's reached an honest point where he can't take no more, and there's many fans like that. So at some point, you are going to have those kind of opinions where you don't actually care to deep what you're actually saying too tough, because it's just an emotional situation. We've just come off a loss. It's hard to do these streams when you've come off a loss, especially when you don't believe in someone. So it's not even a dig at KJ. It's just an observation. So I'm a little bit more calmer in the situation. Fenerbahce today, for me, Terry, 1-1. What an environment to walk into when you're low on confidence. Regardless, you're needing that win away from home. That was a very difficult game, in my opinion, to go and get any win off, especially when you haven't had the form of results prior to this game. I thought we played good enough, as good as we could, to get a draw today. However, because of the previous results, that does carry over into the game. So if you take the FC20 and the Porto situation where, we do enough to go and win games, but then we have a lapse of concentration. If you take wins off those games, which arguably, if it wasn't for individual errors and stupidity, we go and make the most out of them. We're not looking at this game, Fenerbahce 1-1, going, you know what? Yeah, Ten Hag's at a madness. Let's be honest, we're not, because you're looking at 2 wins and 1. But the reality, and I'll stick with the reality because that's, again, ifs and buts. The reality is he's on 2 draws, so he has to go and get the result. Therefore, this result is not good enough. The Mazraoui thing in the 10. Listen, I put a tweet out there, Terry. I said the rationale, the reality of the situation would be either Ahmad or Zirkzee in the 10. The reason it wouldn't have been Eriksen, and I'll back this up 24/7. The reason it wouldn't have been Eriksen, although he could play the 10, is because in midfield against that Fenerbahce, if you do put Casemiro in there, we're looking heavily defensive, and then there's going to be a gap, because we all know Eriksen getting back and tracking back is not good enough. So he's better in a deeper position. That's why Eriksen's been playing there. Bruno's been playing in the 10. So that does leave only Ahmad and Zirkzee, arguably, to play in that 10 role, whether you like that or not, or whether you like that opinion or not. So to me, Mazraoui should not have been in that 10. However, was he the reason we played so poor in that 10? I don't believe it was. So that individual decision, weird or not, was not a contributing factor to us losing or for us drawing. I don't believe that. I believe Mazraoui in that 10 did enough to even win the ball 1 in midfield, but help create that goal as well. Did he do his job? Yes. Is he a natural 10? No, we can have the argument discussion any time of the week. The reality is Mazraoui playing in that 10 was not an issue. So therefore, like it or not, he got that decision right. The biggest issue I'll have with Ten Hag is how the hell...
Right.
How the hell... Right. I want to hear the argument. Let's just hear the argument.
Sorry. My apologies.
Sorry, I know it's your stream. I just really, because I was focused. No,
it's fine.
On the
remember, the football terrace is a democracy. So yes, sorry, carry on, Sunshine. Sorry, bro.
Sorry. I was focused.
So yeah, no, it's all good. So given the fact that Mazraoui had a good game in the 10 and we scored from it, he hasn't put a foot wrong in the 10. Therefore, that is a good decision. Now, unless you want to challenge that and go, what did he do wrong in the 10? I'm open to ears. If you can recall what he did in the 10 that was wrong, defensively and again attackingly. So I always say this about Bruno, I'm consistent. No one talks about Bruno defensively in the 10 when he's tracking back and everything else. Swept under the carpet. So actually looked over. It's all hoofball. Mazraoui was doing exactly the same same kind of football, shall we say, to replicate what he would have off Bruno. Again, challenge it with facts and evidence. I'm open to hearing that. Mazraoui didn't do nothing wrong in the 10, in my opinion. Was much better when it went to the back. However, the issue for me was Amad Diallo, one, not starting, in my honest opinion, because I would have started him in the 10. By the way, just because I feel I have an understanding of Ten Hag starting Mazraoui in the 10 does not mean I agree. I'm just making an honest, objective opinion that he got it right, given the fact Mazraoui had a good game. Feel free to challenge it. It is what it is. Amad Diallo, though, should have started, and Amad Diallo, in my honest opinion, should have come on way before Anthony. Those are the biggest gripes for me.
So, Sunshine, do you know what?
Respond, Terry, to what Nathan said
let me
about
just. I will come back to your bit in just 1 second. I want to say this. Let's just sit in your world for a minute where Mazraoui played well in the 10. And I've said something similar. I think for a right back playing in the 10 role, I was like, I'm not annoyed at him. Does it not stand to reason, though, that Amad could have done a better job than Mazraoui in the 10 and Man United could have scored more goals if it had started in the 10?
Great question. Exactly like what I said. Just because I have an understanding of him starting there and because I can appreciate that he had a good game there does not mean I agree. Like I said at the start of the stream, should have been Zertsky or Amad in the 10. The reason it wasn't Eriksson is because I already give those reasons. So, no, I don't believe he got it right in the sense of, he should have started a more natural number 10 from an attacking perspective. However, given the fact we had to watch the game play out, observing the final result after the 90 minutes of watching that number 10, he didn't put a foot wrong. He actually wasn't an issue, wasn't a liability, which we would have predicted was. So because he wasn't a liability based off those facts, unless you can prove to me something he did wrong in the 10, defensively and attackingly, unless you can prove that, he actually had a good game. Therefore, that was not the issue on the pitch. Therefore, that means Ten Hag got it right, even if I disagree that he should have played Amad or Zertsky. That's my opinion.
So hold on. So you agree with so I wanted you to understand your point. So you think it's Ten Hag today tactically got it mostly right, and it wasn't the individuals. Unless you think you had a good. No, I want to understand the landing point here. Which one is it? Is it Ten Hag got it tactically right, or the players didn't perform? Because it didn't look good. Yes, you scored the goal. It didn't look good. So it has to be one of the others. Either the players are bad or the coach is bad. Which one?
Well, we've all seen where a performance where a coach has been great and players have been great in a game. We've all seen the complete opposite. So it can be both. But today, in isolation, in my opinion, today in isolation, given the game that we had, I felt tactically the first half wasn't great in my opinion. We got the goal. I think we did enough defensively to do well. We saw the saves from Manana, and we saw obviously was it Ugarte with incredible block. We saw two pieces of great individual brilliance in those moments. Sometimes that is football. Was that anything to do with tactics? No, it wasn't. That was individual. We praise them for that. But second half, when it came to being 1-1, when it went to 1-1, I've seen us capitulate most of the time this game. And in the second half, we were on top and possession stats evened out. Like I said, a draw is a fair result. The game itself wasn't as bad as people are saying, in my opinion. The reason I'm saying that is for the simple fact that because of previous results, which I've been saying for the whole season, go and get your results. I don't care about style of playing performances. Go get your results, however you got to get them. That's my biggest.
I actually completely disagree with you.
And that's fine.
I actually think, listen, respectfully, I disagree with you. I actually think when I'm hearing you talking, Naji, to be honest, all I'm hearing is you are trying to find excuses that will make you sleep well at night about the manager and the club and the players. That's how I'm sorry.
What have I said that gives you that impression?
I'm going to tell you. The reason was I'm watching this game, this is my opinion, and that is why I am judging your opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion. You will understand why I'm judging your opinion the way I'm judging. When I watched Man United today, I kept asking myself, what is the end result here? What are we looking for? Is there a style of play that this manager is trying to do? What is the end goal of playing Mazraoui there? What are you trying to do? Why is this new formation? Why is Amad Diallo not playing? Why did you make late subs like this? And I'm looking at it, I'm like, there is no end result because there's no style of play and the results are not coming. If none of these things are coming, there is no positives to take out of this game. None. Zero zilch. This is my opinion about football. Unless you are challenging, unless this is the Champions League and you're about to win the Champions League, you didn't get anything out of the game.
Just quickly, you've made a statement to say you thought I've made an excuse. What have I said that's an excuse for a manager?
Because you kept saying that his decision. What is the end goal for him to play?
No. Don't answer
and I'm asking you because I see no end goal on playing Mazraoui as a 10 today when you don't get the result, and at the end you play the way you played.
Hold that point.
Hold that. So let me finish the point. Najee, let me finish the point. You asked me a question. You said, why did you say that? I find that because you started your talk, right, about that point of Mazraoui, and you find all the positives, and you said he didn't put a foot wrong. I see no end goal. The future, Mazraoui is not going to play in the 10. You get the result. Mazraoui in the 10 doesn't mean anything for Man United for the next 5 years if this guy's going to stay there. Even if you keep Ten Hag, you won't sit here and tell me that Ten Hag will play Mazraoui in the 10. In 5% of the games, you're going to play if this manager stays.
I get your point.
There's no reason.
I get your point. Can I respond?
Go ahead.
So you've only taken part of what I said. And that's why, again, I'm going to have to repeat myself. Just because I have an understanding of him playing in the 10 does not mean I agree with it. I told you before the start, before I even made that comment, I said, anyone that was listening, just to prove that.
You said you would rather Ahmad or Xerxes play.
Okay, thank you. So therefore, that tells you already that I do not agree with him playing there. However, I'm always open to being wrong. So because he's played in the 10, I've had to watch the game. I'm anticipating that he does shit in the 10. He hasn't. I would love to sit here and say, I told you so, should have played Ahmad Xerxes, but he didn't. So because of that, I can't sit here and say...
It's a very subjective opinion. It's a very subjective opinion. Very subjective opinion.
There's a level.
So where is... No, sorry, wait, hold up. No, because he made a statement. Where is the excuse? What excuse have I given? You've not really said anything.
You said I give excuse to yourself that everything is good. I don't think... When you say Mazraoui is played well at the 10, he didn't put a foot... I'm using your word. Didn't put foot wrong. I mean, the manager is a genius.
I said challenge. No. I said feel free to challenge me with what he did wrong in the attack and in the defense in the 10. I said to do that.
Najee, I don't think it's about what he did wrong. It's about what he didn't do. He is not a number 10. He doesn't have. He is. But this is exactly, and I think this is. As a player, I'm not angry with what he did or didn't do tonight because he is a fullback being played out of position in a ridiculously massive brain fart moment from the manager. Football analysis, yes, some of it is about talking about what someone did and didn't do. But I believe there is a possibility that we play better as a team and win this game. Irrespective of it was a hard game, bad environment, confidence is low. We had to win tonight. We're winless this season in Europe. We're winless for 12 months, and we're winless away from home for nearly 2 years. And I think that was a fundamental mistake by the manager. I think it is a logical theory that if Ahmad starts in that position, he could have done more than Mazraoui.
Which would have been my preference, sorry.
Exactly. So we kind of agree on that. It was a mistake from the manager to not try that. What we're saying is it isn't Mazraoui's not being criticized individually. We're saying I think it was a mistake from the manager to not start that player. And the reason I also say that is as soon as we went to a conventional back four, 2 holding midfielders and an actual 10, we controlled the game. And now we should have scored. We should have scored after that. And that is where I do blame, especially Delo. Like how Delo didn't square that ball to Rasmus or Rashford properly. If we'd have scored from that, which we probably should have done, and gone on to win, then we'd have said, look, Ten Hag got it wrong, but he rectified the situation. So that's where I think you have to have balance when criticizing the manager, and then you criticize the individuals. The Garnacho shot from range late on, it's almost like what a great position, and he did that. All that stuff isn't the manager per se for me. That's the individuals. But
I think in your defense,
I look at it this way: did our manager do everything he could tonight to win that game?
Absolutely not.
No, he tripped up at the beginning. And as I said to KJ, that message, you're sitting there in a dressing room, you're Casemiro, you're Rashford, you're whoever. Mazraoui's back in the starting lineup today, boys. Oh, great, he's been brilliant this season. I know, De Ligt turns around, guys, I'm looking forward to playing next year, mate. No, you're not playing next to him, De Ligt. He's going up top. Fuck me. Like, imagine the feeling in that dressing room if he did that.